and thank you for joining me today. I am Dr. Lisa, and welcome to my safe space where I like to speak on issues that are impacting the workplace so that we can all be better leaders within our lives and within our professional career. And today's Black History lesson focuses on experience outweighs intent. Now, I think this is something that we all will definitely resonate with, specifically based on the idea that intention outweighs experience, when really experience and how we experience someone's intention outweighs outweighs their intent. That's because the experience is the result of your intention. The intention is the impact of how you made someone feel. Specifically, how organizations can design work structures and systemic bias within systems and all of that, which are known to be intentional, right? They're intentional to have a certain setup and a certain dynamic and a certain type of meritocracy, right? So that only the few can be elevated, specifically those that they want to be elevated, hiring those that we perceive to be the most talented, you know, focusing on specific individuals based on biases. And that is our intention, right? And that intention impacts the workforce. So then the workforce is experiencing the emotions that are from your intention, the emotions behind them not being perceived as capable, all because of bias, right? The racism, the discrimination, and all of those types of behaviors. So specifically, as a leader, and when we make decisions, or when we're in environments where we are experiencing forms of bias and discrimination or even harassment or anything of that, and someone says, I didn't mean it that way, or that wasn't my intention, or I was only trying to help, that intent doesn't erase the impact. So when someone is experiencing the harm, you're saying that it is more important for your explanation, your intention, your explanation of why you have caused it, right? So you're saying that your explanation of why you've done this behavior is more important than how someone else feels. So it's minimizing that, and regardless of your intention, that's not erasing the harm, right? You're basically just saying, my comfort matters more than how you feel. And that does not outweigh how someone experiences something, because how someone experiences it determines their overall ability to perform on a job, to be successful on a job, to be successful in life. So many statistics and stories and things of history have proven this, right? So when anyone is feeling some sort of harm from the intention of someone's bias, regardless of race, whatever, it does not matter. Regardless of that intention, that is inflicting harm and minimizing how someone is feeling. So, how do we go about this as us being leaders and not hide behind intent, or teach others to not hide behind their intent, to recognize that their intent is, causing harm? And how can we help to prevent that? Hey, how are you doing? Hello. All the way from Brazil. Thank you for joining me. Hi. I'm in Virginia, in America. Today I'm speaking on how our experiences outweigh someone's intention. So if someone's intending to inflict harm in any way, any form of discrimination, harassment, just any form of bias to try to systemically hinder anyone's abilities or capabilities or opportunities or anything like that, anyone's. It's not just based on race. This can be for anything, social, economical, anything like that. That intention is designed to inflict harm, right? But many will say that our experience of that does not matter, because their intent of them saying, I didn't mean it that way, or I didn't know, or I had no idea. That does not minimize how someone is feeling or how someone has been impacted by that. It does not erase the damage that has been caused. So us as leaders and us as using our voice, whether in society or in the workplace, for providing opportunities for others, it is our responsibility that we ensure that policies that are implemented do not exclude, but they claim that they meant well. So the whole idea is to prevent exclusion and to design systems and have checks and balances in place to ensure that that doesn't occur, or to ensure that exclusion does not occur. And this also is important because this helps to prevent hostile environments, right? So that they're not intentionally created. Because when we have this type of harm can be used to control. Harm can be used to justify power. That harm can also be used to minimize someone's capability or their understanding of their capability. So when we think about why these types of harms are in place, it's not just because of course, for what we desire, right? But it's also to uphold the few of what we deem as who should be provided an opportunity based on a bias versus based on their actual capability. And that is what perpetuates continued systemic discrimination. But we have to defend it, and they try to defend it through their intentions. Because intent can be, you have to determine intent, right? When we think of it from a legal matter, right? It's always like, oh, we have to determine the intent. But regardless of the intent, the impact still determines the justification of how someone should be tried, the harm that has been experienced. That's how experience can outweigh intent. So when we're saying all of that, as I mentioned, you're basically saying that the business's approach means more than how the employee feels, right? That's where you get that disconnect again of forgetting that the human aspect is what matters. The human is what drives success, whether in society, whether in work. We as people determine how great the world can be, but only if we are ensuring that how we are experiencing that intention, how that intention of government or businesses, if you watch day one, I talk about this, how they're all aligned and how that is hindering us as individuals for us to be successful, for us to be able to achieve our goals, for us to ensure that our needs are met, right? So that means that we have to ensure that the intent from those in power is not inflicting harm on us, right? And we do that by holding them accountable, by ensuring that they're listening to our experiences without becoming defensive. Because them defending themselves and their intent is saying that what they're doing matters more than how we feel. And that is not the case, because their intention, which they knew, would inflict harm, right? So that's why it's important for us as individuals, as our own leaders. And if you watch my day ones and day twos and day threes and been following me, I always speak about how we are leaders, even though we may not realize it. Someone is looking at you as a leader. Someone is recognizing you as inspirational, and you may not even know it. So it's important for you to walk in that leadership and that capability and that recognition that you are a power within and that you have power. And so that means you're acknowledging and recognizing that you will speak up and explain how the intention of those in power has impacted you, right? So that they're unable to justify their intent, because their intention is to remain in power. Their intention is for their opportunity and their continued success. It's not always about us, the people. It's always about them, those in power, keeping that position, hindering those from moving forward. And you're going to always have those that look like you, act like you, who you think are with you, that may step forward and move against you and others. I speak about that in day 4. I spoke about that yesterday. So it's so many things that you have to do, but all of these days, every day that I'm speaking is to help you to lead down a different path and be stronger. Because intent is about you, right? And the impact of that intent is how you're being harmed. So that impact overall really is about them and what they're trying to achieve through their intention, right? The impact, their return on investment. Are they going to, minimize the amount of opportunities for certain amounts of groups or people? Are they going to uplift one group of people and not another group of people? Are we going to take away this amount of jobs and then maybe only hire within to a certain amount of people from this sector because we assume that they can do it and not that other sector can do it? Oh, we're only going to build houses in this neighborhood because we want them over here, but we don't want people from over there from that neighborhood. So our intention is to implement new policies so that these people cannot have opportunities, but these other people can have these opportunities. That's what that's all about. So it's up to us as leaders within our lives and within our workspaces and our professional career and all of that to step forward and to call a thing, to call it out and to bring awareness to it and to allow others that see us and look up to us that you may not know are looking at you as a leader to also be influenced and to step forward and do the same thing. And that's how you're going to be able to protect yourself and others and address the harm that is actually being caused. And also bring opportunities for change. And I think that's the biggest thing that everyone forgets and walks away from is the actual change that needs to happen. We hear and see all around, and history has shown us, and all around the world, different, movements to create change, but then it just dissipates when certain people get the opportunities that they've been looking for, right? So then everyone else is left like, well, where's our opportunity? Where are the jobs for us? Where's the housing for us? Where's the social economic growth for us? Where's the raise for us? So it's always that few. And the idea is to push forward for not just few, but for all. So that's why I'm holding these talks for us to understand different ways of defending opportunities for all and empowering us to go out and create change in the world, all through the lens of lessons that can be learned from Black History Month. And for those that are joining me, I'm in America. We celebrate Black History Month in February, which is the shortest month of the year. And we always joke about that of course we would only get the shortest month. And no, all of these lessons are for us to, create change throughout the world. This is not just about me as a Black woman speaking on the past. This is about me helping us to learn lessons from the past, what lessons should have been learned, so that I really shouldn't even have to give this lesson, but these lessons have not been learned. And so I plan to come on and have these talks so that we can help to understand how we can continue to fight and provide opportunities for others, and to evaluate how we go about our own actions as leaders within the world, and to inspire others, and to ensure that the detriment and tragedies of the past do not continue forward into the future. So I'll be back on again tomorrow, and I want to thank you guys for joining me. And as I always say, be the change. And well, until then, love yourself and others. Bye.